guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is JL for those of you that may not know, and today's video is going to be a full face of Black owned brands. I'm so excited for this video. I've been planning it for quite some time. This will not be the only time you guys see this. I know some people are kind of just doing it as like a trend or fad, but we support Black owned brands all the time over here, so you guys will definitely be seeing more of these types of videos, but I wanted to make sure I had a nice array of everything, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, so to start for the brows, I am going to be kind of mixing and matching here just because I did not have a brow pencil and a brow gel to use, but I do have a brow pomade. Now I like to set my brows with a gel and I like to use a pencil just to kind of outline. So I'm going to be using two products that are not Black owned for that. I did actually remember last night when I was thinking about filming this that Uoma Beauty does have a brow pencil. I don't know if they have like a little tiny micro brow pencil, but I know that they do have one and I completely forgot about that. And Fenty, I believe, came out with a brow product. I'm not sure. I know there are other brands out there that are Black owned and one of them might have a brow product, but I just was unaware. So I remember I was originally doing some research and I found a brow pomade and I kind of was like, oh, this brow pomade. And then I didn't think about the fact that I like to use a pencil and a brow gel. So that is my bad. I'm going to definitely look out and see what other brands have brow products that I can potentially grab and use on camera. Also, my brows need some shaping. They're getting shaped this week, and my nails need doing, which so they're going to be taken care of as soon as I get off camera. So I'm just lightly outlining them because I'm going to have to kind of shape them up anyway. But for brows today, we're going in with the Crayon Case Eyebrow Pomade in the shade Medium Brown. And as you guys can see, I have dipped into this quite a few times. I really enjoy this pomade. I've been reaching for it basically every time I do my brows lately. So what I like to do is I like to just take the pomade and put it on the back of my hand just to warm it up a bit. And if the pomade isn't that emollient on its own, the body heat naturally helps to activate it a little bit more and give it a little bit more slip. This one is pretty emollient by itself, but I still like to do that. I just find that it makes it a lot easier when it comes to application, and you can really control the amount that you have on your brush. So as you guys can see, that applies quite nicely. I do need to clean up the brows a bit, as I mentioned before, but I like the way that it goes on. It's very easy and very simple to use, and a little bit goes a long way. I still have all this left over on the back of my hand. I'm just going to clean up under my brows a bit. To do that, I'm going in with this black Opal Total Coverage Concealer. I'm going to be using this again a little bit later on, but I like this one. This one honestly can almost be a little bit of a corrector on me sometimes, but I do like it for under the brows because I feel like it just highlights nicely in a way. It just kind of brings everything together. It's very close to my skin tone, but it has a slightly different undertone, so it just works nicely under here. For eyeshadow today, I'm going in with another the Crayon Case product. This is the Crayon Case Washable Eye Glue Stick, and it says goes on white, dries clear. So I'm quite interested in this. I have, like when I mess with this area, a little bit of veining and stuff up here. So I don't know that it's going to necessarily even that out because of the veining. So what I think I'm going to do is just, with whatever's left, just kind of lightly drag a little bit of concealer just right down in this area so that I have like a little bit of coverage there. I mean, I am going to be putting on product, but just for good measure. And I'm not doing any like super crazy eye look today, so I'm hopeful. But this is what it looks like. Literally does look like an old-fashioned Elmer's like glue container. And it doesn't actually look white. It looks very brown to me. I want to dab a little bit off on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to just apply it with my finger, I think. Oh, okay, it's turning a lighter color. I'm curious to see if it really will dry clear. I want to take a brush and finish blending this out because I'm not getting it in the areas I want to. It does blend out, and I don't know if it's clear, but it's definitely a very sheer wash of color. That's cool. Right, so that's really cool. It's not clear, which I'm kind of glad about because I want it to have a little bit of a base, like a color base. It has like a very, very light wash of color, but I like it. Okay, that's awesome. For the eyes today, we're going in with the Girl Meets Makeup Bare palette. That's what it's called, right? Bare? There's no name on the actual palette, but there's a name on this, which is why I always keep this packaging. Yes, Bare. And look at the front of this. This is so cute. It really is. If you're more into kind of like the sleek stuff, this isn't necessarily like the actual component is sleek, but it is more of, you know, a stylized front. But I just think this is really cute. And when you open it up inside, all of the colors inside are very sleek and natural, and it's just so pretty. And they have a bunch of different shades actually. So there's a lot, They have a bunch of different eyeshadow palettes. They have ones that are a lot more bold. They have ones that are more subdued like this one. So they have a lot of options. So I'm excited. So I have done a video with this one before on my channel way back when. But when I did it, I talked about the fact that I enjoyed the shimmers. They are kind of like an older eyeshadow formula, like one of the ones that are a little bit drier and they still perform. I personally prefer more of a wet emollient formula for my shimmer shades. That's just me personally, but these still perform wonderfully, and when you wet them you really do get a lot of payoff. I think I'm going to do a relatively simple look today. I know kind of what I want to do, but I'm going to keep it a lot more simple than I probably was going to originally. I am going to take, is there a shade name guide? No, I don't think these have shade names. Okay, so I'm just going to take this top like peachy brown shade up here. And I'm just going to pop that right in the crease and let it go up a little bit above even. Now I'm going to go in with this deeper chocolatey shade right here. It's kind of like hot chocolate shade. And on the same brush, I'm just going to sweep it into the same exact area. Now you can kind of see some of the payoff. I really enjoy the mattes in this palette because they blend out quite well. Also remember, if you've been with me before and if you are new, then you may not know, but up here I have a little issue where on both of my eyes in this area, I have a little bit of trouble with shadows sometimes sticking and picking up right here. So I can get a little bit of patchiness just right in this section. Normally, I can overcome it. I might have to lay down a little bit more primer right on top of this eyeshadow. I never fault the eyeshadow for it though, because I can use the most high-end eyeshadow and I still have that problem. All right, I'm going to take another brush and just go in with this original transition shade that we used right here. And I am just going to blend out those edges a little bit more up top. And now to bring in a little bit of depth and dimension, I'm going to take this deeper chocolatey shade right here, this deeper brown, and I'm going to pop that on the outer corner. And now I'm basically just going to be switching back and forth between the brush that laid down the hot chocolate shade and the brush that I'm using to sweep the deeper shade in the outer corner. And that's just going to help me build up the shape that I want and give me the fade that I want as well. For a teensy bit of added drama on this same exact brush, I'm just going to go in with this black shade here. This is more like a charcoal black than like a true deep black, but I think that's going to be perfect for this look because it's going to allow me to have a little bit more control over the black as I lay it down, which is what I want. So I am just going to sweep and blend this in. A helpful hint if you're dealing with black, especially if you're not used to putting a lot of black, you don't use black that often, is to start off with a little bit and then build up as you need to. I, as you guys saw, dipped it into the palette and then I just dipped it onto my lids and I did 2 taps on one lid and then 2 taps on the other, and that was enough for me to have the color that I wanted and the pigment that I wanted. And just for good measure, I'm going to go in with that original transition shade once more and just blend up by the brow bone. All right, now I'm going to pick up this shade right here. It's like a white gold. This one. All right. Now I'm going to pick up this shade right here. It's like a white gold, and I'm just going to sweep that onto the lid. So I'm going to line my eyes off camera because I need you guys to recommend a good black owned eyeliner for me, a liquid liner. I don't even have like a black owned gel liner, unfortunately. It's another thing, I'm just deciding to kind of do this now. I didn't think about that before. So let me know if you guys have a recommendation, because I definitely didn't think to do that ahead of time, which is my bad. All right, you guys, so I'm so sorry I did not have a black owned eyeliner. I genuinely didn't even think about it because I don't do wings as much as I used to. So now I want to actually go in with some glitter. This is from the brand Glow Up Academy. You guys may have seen the owner of it. I think she's the co-owner of it, Kiki Adams. She has a channel here on YouTube and she does these bomb looks. She's normally doing them on somebody else. I don't think I've ever seen a video of her doing makeup on herself, but she does really, really beautiful looks. They're normally cut creases, very detailed. She breaks them down. Her videos are like sometimes an hour long or more, and she will just literally walk you through step by step how she does everything and explain it in depth. She's also very young and just super talented, and she has these really beautiful blends of glitters. This glitter is a little bit tinier, but I think it still has some chunks in it. She does warn that the ones that are chunkier are not technically eye safe because you're supposed to have the really fine cosmetic grade glitter that you use on your eyes. This one is a little bit larger. They have larger little specks and stuff on it. I'm going to be using it on my eyes today, but I will say if that is something you are concerned with and you still want to use glitters like these, you don't have to. But if you want to, when you're applying it, make sure that you're just being safe with how you apply it. Try to not apply it directly into the eye. Try to hold your brush at a safer angle that will allow you to place things down. And also, when you are taking your makeup off at night, in general, when you're wearing eye makeup, don't wipe down because you can get anything you have on your eye, on your eyelid into your eyeball that way. I suggest wiping up or to the side, or you can even go up, out. Just that way you're kind of naturally following the curvatures of your face. You're not dragging down. You don't want to drag down on your face to begin with, and it just makes everything a lot safer. So the motions are going to be up and out. I wanted to lay down the eyeliner first because it's a lot harder to lay down liner over top of glitter versus having the glitter down and then going back in with your liner and afterwards, you know, I mean, versus having the liner down, then going in with glitter and then going back in with a little bit of liner to kind of clean up and tighten up some areas. So this is what the glitter looks like. It's in the style Fairy Tale. I don't know how well you guys can kind of see that, but it is so pretty. Literally, her glitter blends are out of this world. So pretty. There's so many like levels and layers to it. So I heard of a trick of using a bobby pin to get the glitter off your face, and it actually works. If you use a little like bendy end of the bobby pin, you can just kind of lightly scoop up the glitter. And then you want to, like, whatever glitter you picked up, you want to just kind of wipe it off, so you're not putting more glitter back onto the face, but it actually works quite well. Alright, so I've just zoomed you guys in so you guys can see the majesty of this glitter because it's so beautiful. And as I said, it looks so beautiful in camera and it's even more stunning in person because you have, I don't even know if the camera's picking up all of the different like colors that I'm seeing in here, but it's just so pretty. Alright, so now that the eyes are done, we can move on into the rest of the face. I have this mini version of the Fenty Pro Filt'r Instant Retouch Soft Matte primer. I'm just going to pop this in my T-zone. I picked this one up, but I still need a hydrating primer. So I am going to be using a hydrating primer that I have on hand. Something that I do off camera is I like to just set my T-zone area with some powder. Something I've been using to do that is the Danessa Myricks Evolution powder. This is in the shade 2.5. Now these powders are very finely milled, very soft, and they're almost translucent, even the ones that have a little bit of color to them. So you can get away with using a few different shades. I mean, Danessa has used her lightest shades on the deepest skin tones, and it's worked out beautifully. But I use, excuse the motorcycle driving by, but I use shade 2.5 because it is the closest to my skin tone. She has one deeper one, but I just prefer this one. And I love it. It's so soft, so finely milled. And I bought the mini ones just to test them out and see how I would like it. And I'm going to have to go back and buy the bigger ones. But I have been using these powders and a little bit goes such a long way that the minis have, I really haven't made a dent in them at all. So that really tells you something right there. And if you're trying to figure out like who she might compare to, not like her as an artist or anything like that, but just price point wise, I would say she kind of falls similarly, in my opinion, to like a Natasha Denona. Her eyeshadow palettes, I don't know if she has any eyeshadow palettes that have come out, but if you notice, a lot of Natasha's palettes have been a little bit like around like the $65 range. She just released a face palette that's like $45 or $50 or something. She kind of, to me, is reminiscent of that kind of like Natasha Denona general price range where things are a little bit pricier, but they also perform really, really well. This is the Danessa Myricks Illuminating Veil in the shade Radiance. It looks like this. She has, I think, at least 3 shades. I want to say like 5 shades of these, but this is the one that I picked up. It's very golden. Wow. It literally looks like melted liquid gold. I probably pumped out way too much. I definitely did. Okay. So I'm just going to apply it. Whew. I pumped out way too much. Oh my God. I did not need all of this. Wow. I'm going to just apply it on my chin and right here, basically the areas where I typically like to have, sorry, I'm so stuck on the fact that I applied so much and just wasted this product, but I'm basically applying on the areas where I typically like to have a little bit more highlight. So now I'm just going to blend this out. it dries down to almost like a powder finish. So I didn't need all of this product. That was a waste. Sometimes I get overzealous and I'm just like, let me just pump out all of this product. I mean, you guys got to see it, but I didn't need all of that. So for foundation today, we are going in with a Beauty Bakerie Insta Bake Aqua Glass Foundation. If you guys have been with me for a minute, then you already know I love this foundation. It's like one of my top tier foundations. It's so good, and I just love the way that it makes my skin look. I love this foundation. It's so beautiful. I know that Beauty Bakerie used to have a foundation that was similarly named to that one, but it was a matte foundation. And people, I think, still think that this is just the same foundation as that one. That one, not as many people liked because there was just too much involved. It was almost too matte, is my understanding, and you needed to like mix in their oil with it to make it work. And if you didn't do that, then people had a lot of issues with it drying too quickly and looking a little bit like cakey and everything because it was just a little bit too, just didn't have enough slip to it, I believe. This one is not like that at all. This one is so beautiful, so easy to work with, and it just literally makes your skin look so smooth and hydrated. I don't think that it looks overly dewy at all. I think it just looks perfect, so I love it. To go with that, I'm going to just be spraying my brush. I'm going to be using the Beauty Bakerie Sweet Grace Baking Spray. I love this stuff. It reminds me a lot of the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. This one just has a slight scent to it, and I don't think the Morphe one really does. The scent is like, it kind of goes away after a minute, but it does have a scent to it because everything in the line is definitely based off of baking, and you're kind of supposed to get that feel of it from everything that you use. But it's really nice, and it does definitely help the makeup to last. I don't know that it's like an Urban Decay all-nighter in terms of like how long it's going to keep the makeup on your skin, but I definitely feel like it does help with prolonging the makeup, and in general it just helps everything to look a lot less cakey and a lot more flawless. I mean, I just did 2 pumps and I'm not even done both pumps, and this is how much coverage I have, which is outstanding. Like, I'm not going to use the entire 2 pumps that I pumped out. So this is such a fantastic foundation. I will say I definitely need to get a deeper shade of this right now. I am very golden, and this is a neutral undertone, a more neutral undertone shade. So on me right now, it probably is looking a little bit muted. I don't think it's necessarily like ashy, it's more just muted. So I do need to go ahead and get a deeper shade of this, but I'm also like, we're entering fall, so it's going to be fine because I can wear more neutral shades during fall time, but because it's still kind of warm and I still have my summertime glow on, it is going to look a little bit more muted on me. But that's okay because we can bring back the warmth and everything with our bronzer. All right, guys, so I just checked. I'm actually checking right now. Ulta's having a sale for women-owned brands or part of their 21 Days of Beauty on Wednesday. So you guys are seeing this video on Tuesday, September 8th. Wednesday, September 9th is when their sale is going live. So make sure that you guys go ahead and tune in. I'm going to make sure this video is up early enough to give you guys a heads up because the Beauty Bakerie flower setting powder that I'm going to be using in a couple minutes is available for sale, and it's one of the best powders in the game. And you can also pick up Uoma Beauty's foundation, which is another foundation that I really enjoy. If you want something that's a little bit more matte, that will be for you because they have more of a matte finish in that foundation. So definitely head over and check that out so you can support both of those brands. All right, so for concealer, I'm going in again with a black Opal hot concealer in the shade Heavenly Honey. The official name is a Total Coverage Concealing Foundation. And I'm just going to first plop this kind of right under the eye. This is technically like my skin tone shade, as I mentioned before. But I like to use this almost as a little bit of a corrector because I feel like it can just kind of help tone everything and make everything look a little bit more even. So I'm only using a very sheer amount, and then I'm just going to go ahead and blend that out. So I like to do all of my creams before I even reach for powders to set anything down. So I'm gonna go in and do some more concealing. So I like to do underpainting, which I definitely learned from my girl, Jackie Ina. So I'm gonna be picking up the Fenty Beauty Concealer in the shade 310. This is just a Pro Filt'r concealer. This concealer, in my opinion, is a little bit more matte, and I prefer a hydrating concealer under my eye unless the matte concealer isn't a super drying matte. I feel like this is kind of a drying matte, but I can still get away with it depending on the powder that I set it down with. If I set it down with the Fenty powder, I can't get away with it. But if I set it down with certain other powders, I can make it work. So I am picking up this one, however. This is the Uoma Beauty Stay Woke Concealer. This is also a beautiful concealer. This is in the shade Honey Honey T3. It gives you a really nice level of coverage. It's also quite yellow, which I don't particularly mind because I like my under eyes to be a little bit more golden. And this is quite kind of like a golden yellow shade on me. So to warm up the face a little bit, I'm going to be taking this foundation stick from Black Opal in the shade Beautiful Bronze. I love this for just a little bit of added warmth and dimension. This is such a fantastic product. And when you're using this to do your foundation as well, it's also a really great, foundation. I have this foundation shade. The one I use is the shade Truly Topaz when I'm actually using it as a foundation. And that is also just so beautiful. Your skin looks like flawless. It lasts very well and wears very well. This is a really good brand, and it's a drugstore brand, so it's not that expensive. So I originally was going to use the Beauty Bakerie powder, but because I've already used the Beauty Bakerie foundation, I think instead I'm going to use this Pat McGrath powder by itself because I really love this powder, and that's all you really need to set. You don't need a ton of powder. All right, you guys, so I am just going to go ahead and set my face down. In order to set, I'm just going to be using this Black Opal Invisible Oil Blocking Pressed Powder. For bronzer, blush, and highlight, they're all coming from the same exact products. This is the Beauty Bakerie Neapolitan Bar Face Palette. The packaging is outstanding, as is all of Beauty Bakerie's packaging. And this is literally just what it says, a face palette. So you have your bronzer, your highlight, and your blush. I'm going to be using all three of these today. For mascara today, I'm going to be using the Pat McGrath Fetishized Mascara. And for lashes, I'm going to be using the Makeup by Tammy lashes in the style Mia. Makeup by Tammy is, yes, the same Makeup by Tammy that's here on YouTube. She has a shop where she sells makeup brushes, water-activated liners, and lashes. And these are my favorite lashes, her whole lash line. So good. Been reaching for these more than like any other lashes that I own. Alright, you guys, so I just popped the lashes on off camera. As I said, absolutely stunning. Some of my favorite lashes that I own. I use these all of the time, and I really love this style. I really love this style, Mia in particular. I think they're just so beautiful. So for lips today, I'm going in with a combo. I'm going to be using this lip liner from the Lip Bar and this liquid lipstick from Makeup for Melanin Girls. I am an affiliate with Makeup for Melanin Girls, so I will have everything linked down below if you guys want to go ahead and purchase anything and get some money off of your purchase. You don't have to use my link, you don't have to use my code, but it is an affiliate link and I do have a discount code as well, and it gives you 10% off of your purchase. So really quickly, I already started lining my lips, but I realized I didn't say it already. The Lip Bar lip liner is in the shade Straight Up, and it's a smudge-proof lip liner with jojoba oil and aloe vera. These lip liners are very emollient and hydrating. They're very easy to use and they're very pigmented, so check them out. And this liquid lipstick from Makeup for Melanin Girls is in the shade Raw. Alright, you guys, and this is your completed look. I'm so happy with how this turned out. It looks absolutely beautiful, and it just goes to show the power of Black-owned brands. I really wanted to do this video because I wanted to, one, just highlight all these brands that are absolutely amazing, but I also wanted to show that there are so many options out there that we might not even be thinking of or be aware of. I know for a fact that I don't see enough people, and not saying a lot because a lot of people do, but I just don't see enough people using the Glow Up Academy, using Beauty Bakerie, really using any of these brands. So I really hope that this video introduced you to some new brands, and if it didn't introduce you to new brands, I hope that it reminded you of ones you've heard of before, and it encourages you to go out and shop Black and to discover some new brands to add into your rotation, because they are just as great as all the other brands that we hear talked about all the time, and they deserve the same level of clout and respect. The only thing that I do want to make a note on is for this lipstick, you need to wait for it to completely dry down before you press your lips together. Otherwise, you'll start to lose some pigment in the middle. That happened to me. I'm not happy about that, affiliate or no. I'm always going to keep it real with you guys. So I'm not happy about that, but once it dries down, I can press my lips together. I don't have an issue at all, and it is very comfortable on the lips for me. It's obviously a matte, so you're going to feel the matte-ness of it, but it is, you know, nice and comfortable. You just need to make sure you let it dry down before pressing your lips together. If you do that, you are able to just kind of go back and fix it, and it's not going to create any big crumbly issues. At least it did not on me, but that is just a note to make about this liquid lipstick in particular. Outside of that, everything else, really no issues. Really not even an issue with this. Just something I wanted to point out to all y'all out there. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe. Let me know what else you would like to see and any other brands I should be checking out. Make sure to hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload, and make sure you guys stick around to see some more of my awesome videos. You guys can check out, I have a bunch of playlists. I have a video pre-selected. If you guys want to just keep on watching from my pre-selection, just go ahead and check it out. I will see you all in my next one. Bye, my loves.
Say my name until the city burns and the stars fade away and your scars don't hurt. Stay with me until the last